For more updates, click on subscribe and click on bell button for latest notifications. Hi friends, welcome to Tech ARK IT YouTube channel. My name is Ravi. In this video session, we are going to see about Ansible roles. So you can split a large playbooks into multiple files. So you can split the large playbooks into multiple files. That's the main concept of the Ansible roles. So see here. So what we can do with the Ansible roles here. Okay, so large playbooks are split into multiple files. Roles are a way to group multiple different tasks, like are the complex tasks. Example, say if you want to deploy a web server in a multiple distributions, example in Red Hat and CentOS and Ubuntu and SUSE Linux, then if you want to deploy in multiple distributions of with the same web service, but they have a different commands together, they have different configuration files, they have different locations on the configuration part. So if you want to do that, then if you are writing the playbook, which is going to be a very complex, but instead you can write a multiple complexity on the roles and call those on the playbook, so are the on the role. So that way the complex things is going to be easy. So the whenever you split the playbook into multiple pieces, so that makes easy to write the code like a few lines only instead of writing the multiple lines like that. So reuse of playbook code is easy, like whenever you want to use the same code of that role to deploy something, or if you want to modify the same thing, you can simply use or simply modify that. Roles are major things on the Ansible, so which play major role on the Ansible. Roles have structured layout. So how and as they have a structured layout, in that we have to place the things here. So whenever you create any role, example here I have created the role called Apache. So in this, which has a default structure, the directory structure. So the defaults, in the sense the default variable for the role files contains files to copy to destination. So the files directory contains the files, example the configuration files, or if you want to deploy some app files, or many more files if you want to copy from here to destination or on the remote client, so wherever the Ansible node is there. So that's why you can drop all the files into this files directory. Handlers, so based on notify, do something specified. So whenever you have in the playbook, what we do, some notify and write some subject, the same subject if you call on the handler, do something like, example say after deploying the new application or the new files on the web server or the Apache server, I want to restart or the reload the service. So that's what the handlers do. So metadata about current role. So metadata in the sense like just like write the details about this playbook, what this playbook do, and which Ansible version it works, and who is the author, and what it does, so and so details you can write in the metadata. So and tasks, so this is the main task list where you write all the tasks in the task directory in the main.yml, or you can also create new yml files and call that yml files on the main.yml. So that way also the task can be executed. Template files to deploy. Examples, template files are also similar to the files, but the templates has a different meaning, like Jinja to templates has a different lines in the configuration. So those also you can use to deploy on the remote system, like whenever you have a configuration file, right? the same configuration file may not be work for multiple systems. So in case if you create a Jinja template, the maybe same configuration file can be deployed into the multiple systems. Okay, and test is the directory where you can specify the some inventory data as well as the using this role test. So if you want to do some verification on the role, like how the role is running, then you can use this test to test it. And where's is the directory, so variables, other variables you can write it, or the variables also you can write it. Defaults and where is all similar to it, but the defaults are the default variable for the role, and variables are the specified variables, so where you can specify the variables over here. Let's see some practical how we can create the Ansible roles, and how we can split these playbooks, or how we can make this easier to install. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just simply going to install a web server on the remote node using these roles. Okay, so let's jump into the /etc Ansible. So there is a default roles. So whenever you called Ansible Galaxy to do that, so it will automatically create the role over here. So if you want to create the Ansible directory structure, so what you can do is that simply Ansible Galaxy. Okay, and here you can initialize the role directory structure, clean directory structure, using the init, so which is called initialization. And here you can specify the name. So I can specify, I could say that maybe I will say web server. Okay, hyphen offline, because why I specify offline here, like if you specify any web server, or do an install or something like that, so that the Galaxy will copy the existing role from the Galaxy website, like the galaxy.ansible.com. so that's why I don't want to do any copy or the existing role. So I want to create a clean fresh Galaxy installation, so role installation. So this is where the Galaxy created the clean directory structure here. So this is the directory structure. Simply what we have to do is that we have to split the playbooks into the variables into variables, and tasks into task directory, and files into files directory, something like that. So that way which will install, or which you can call the playbook, and do the stuff. Okay, example in simple terms. So what I am going to do is that playbooks, and go to see this deploy lab stack here. So this is the playbook I have here. So here what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to install the Apache server, right? So what I'm going to do, simply just copy here this line and this line. Okay, so what it will do, copy this and restart this, right? So instead of this restart here, so you can also call something like this one, and do the same task split into multiple, like you can install here and restart the using the handler, but I'm not doing this. So here what you can do, and edit this and go to etc, sorry, web server directory, and etc here, sorry, tasks directory here, and main.oml. so here what you can do, simply copy that tasks here. So what is the tasks, what you have, install Apache and latest one, and install Apache, start the Apache server. Okay, after that what you want, so you want to copy the directories and do something stuff here, install and restart. I don't want to install the MariaDB again, so I'm just doing this stuff, only deploy the files over there. So after that, create directory is not required, copying SQL files is not required, this is not required, copy PHP files or the index.php file. So this is not required. Maybe I will create a new file, html dot things. Okay, so this is the one, and nothing much, just keep this one again, this task, and restart. Right, this is the task again, so I'm going to do it here. Right, so the alignment should be fine, otherwise it won't work. Okay, so this is what the simple playbook is. Okay, to install and do the stuff, right? So this is the way actually. So just do an alignment. Let's do it. Do not do any tab here, because the tab won't work. So okay, so here no need to specify any source, something like this. So simply specify index.php. okay, or maybe I can say index.html. so this is a simple playbook, so nothing much complex here. This is very simple playbook, and install the Apache here, and state is started. After that, not okay, started, and after that copy the index file and do the, after copying the file, restart it. Okay, now you can go ahead and do a web server, and here if you have, go to files directory and create that index.html file. So what I'm going to do is that here I simply write a h1 tag here and say welcome to tech Arkit Ansible tutorial, and close this h1 tag. That's it, not much. So simple HTML file. And here if you go to the meta directory, this meta directory has main.yml file. So in this you can write this details, so all the details you can write it over here. So what you want to write here, so simply example, say that what is your name. So okay, you can write your name here. So what is this Ansible role description? Install web server in CentOS 8 or RHEL 8. So this way you can simply specify what is your company name, something like that, or original. So many details you can write it, what version it will work, and all the details you can write it over here. So which version, Ansible version you would like to currently which is using, so Ansible 10 or Ansible 11. okay, and what is the all the details. So here you can write the details, or you can also specify the tags if you have any dependencies on this. This is very simple way I'm just defining it. Sorry, okay, simple way I'm just defining the meta details over here. Okay, and if you want to specify some template files or the test or variables, or so these handlers I do not have. Handlers I do not have any for now. Or maybe we can also edit these tasks directory in that main.iml. You can specify here, maybe this can be handled like here. What I'm doing, notify hyphen restart web. Okay, so here after notifying, I would like to do on a this can be handled by the handler. So now handlers directory and main.yml here, and what you can do is that simply the name should match. So whatever the name we have provided there, you have to provide this here, restart web, and what you have to do, you have to do the restarting. So here you can use service module httpd state restarted. So let me check again, tasks main.yml. Sorry, how to specify this way, service colon and the name equal to httpd state is restarted. So restart web is the restart web is the name. So from here you can remove from here actually. So after copy, say notify, so restart web, and after notifying, what it's going to do, it's going to restart it. So I'm not going to use any tags here. You can use tags or not use the tags anyway. So this is the simple playbook. So what it's do, it will install the Apache web server and start the web service. After that, copy the index.html file to destination and notify to restart the web server, and it will restart it. So now what you have to do, go back to here and create any YML file with to call the role. So simple, what I am going to do is that site web server .yml. so I'm just going to use the same one and say web server deploy. So here I'm just call host, and example say I would like to take node 3 here, or maybe you can take node 4 here, and say roles and web server. The role name you have to call it here. So if you have multiple roles, example if you want to deploy the same web server into the multiple things, or if you want to deploy example different roles on the like example FTP server or NTP server or maybe a NFS server. So if you create this different roles, if you want to call that roles here, you can simply call role the role name, so which will do the job. So before executing, so I'm going to do an Ansible playbook and say web servers .yml and syntax check, so which will verify the syntax whether the Ansible is going to execute perfectly or not. Okay, looks good. Then we can execute the playbook here. So this way what it will do, it just goes and do the job for us, installing Apache server. So node 4 is changed, and copy the index.php file like HTML file, and done. You can see that. Now you can go to the node 4 and var www.html here, and you can see index.html file. Welcome to TechARKIIT. So if you want to browse this, you can also browse using this IP address on the browser. So that way, or you can also use systemctl status httpd whether the service is running or not. So this way you can simply make sure that you can create the multiple roles or the complex things you can do using this Ansible roles. That's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Please subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos and courses.